Hi guys, welcome back. BJ the Brave here again with another video for you. As you probably noticed, Radovid Control has become a really big part of the ladder since the new patch and the Nilfgaard faction was released into the game of Gwent. I've been working on quite a few different Nilfgaard decks, and I put this deck together just as a bit of fun, and it's actually evolved and become proven to be really good against the Radovid deck. Now, I don't know how it does against lots of other decks. I haven't had a chance to test it that deeply yet. But it's got some good concepts in here that work really, really well. And as I say, I'm now beating Radovid quite successfully with this. So I thought I'd share this deck with you. So let's take a look and go through how this all works. As you can see here from the deck, first of all, you'll notice that we have quite a heavy front line and we have almost nothing on the second and third line. And that's because Radovid's units are all on these back two rows. Well, that means that logically then, if we play something like Skellige Storm, we've got a chance of putting all his units down to one value without affecting our own. So what I've done is really try to maximize the value of the front rows, and I've also tried to make sure we've got different strengths on there. So you can see we've got Nilfgaard Knights, we've got the Sevens. Also, they've got a lot of, don't forget that the Radovid's deck plays a lot of damage dealing units. So often that these guys won't stay at the base strength. They might get dealt a lot of damage through like ballistas and trebuchets and things like that. Thunderbolt. So these guys will often end up at different strengths. I've played one of the standard bearers because I think we've got such a good front line that this guy giving everything +2 can actually end up giving you really, really good value. And we're also playing a lot of very good value cards on the front row. Now, one of the reasons why this deck works really well is we've got the Witches, and the Witches being one of the key things about the Witches is they interact quite nicely with the Nilfgaard faction ability. So what we're trying to do is there's two ways we can do it. One, we can actually play the Witches turn one, meaning that our deck is thinned, so we get better chances with Morvan's ability and our draw cards at getting things that we might want. But the way that I use this deck more often than not is actually to put the Witches back. So we don't want the Witches in our hand. Every time we get to use the faction ability where we can put a card back, we put the Witches back. And then on turn 3, because we've got things like more of Vran's ability and Ka here as well, which allows us to play the leadership ability twice, you pretty much always get to pull one of your 3 Witches, leading to a really strong end game. So a couple more things. When we are mulliganing, we have 4 golds. Now got 2 golds that we want to play early. So Stefan and Zarthesius we want to play probably in round 1 to help win round 1, and the other 2, Kai here and Geralt, we want to play round 3. So we want to play those as a really strong finisher along with the Witches. And that's quite hard for our opponent to outvalue. If you don't want to run Geralt, you can run Trish. Trish obviously is 12 value as well. She does 8 and she does 4 damage to your opponent. The only reason why I'm not running Trish is specifically because of Radovid. Radovid can obviously kill Trish, but in the end, it kind of doesn't matter because Radovid could also just do 8 damage to Geralt. It's totally up to your preference. I'm running Geralt because, I just think it's quite cool to have a meta deck with the original gold that actually works quite well. So in round 1, we're looking to play quite a strong round with our melee units. We're trying to thin with our first light, our rallies, and build a good front row. And then, as we said, round 3, we're going to play our Witcher strategy with 2 really strong golds. Zarthesius, round 1 play, and Stefan, because we can put one of his good cards to the bottom of his deck in denial, and we can use Stefan to put our best cards so that we pull it in round 2. Usually one of these, or D-Bomb, or Skellige Storm. Okay, so I do run 1 Rot Tosser. I find Rot Tosser to be one of the best cards in the deck, and to be honest with you, you could easily run more than one. I'm just not doing it because of the synergy with Skellige Storm, but you could easily drop, 1 Pikeman or one of the Second Thunders if you want to play more of the Rot Tossers. So let's look at the special cards. So we still run Cantarella, pretty standard, right? Probably the best spy in the game, Cantarella. She's very good. So you've got to run that. We do run D-Shackles and we run D-Bomb. And again, against Radovid, what you'll find is in round 3, he'll often play things like Vernon and Villain Trettenmirth, and they're both on the same row. So you've got a really good opportunity there to debomb. I also find in this deck that debomb is like a really great medic, because what happens is you play this really giant wall on the front and you start to get picked apart like thunders and ballistas and things like that. And often you'll have 2 or 3 guys that, you know, these 11s, they might get down to 2 or 3. And then you can just debomb, and you can often get something like 15 to 20 value from your debomb just by resetting your front row. So don't be surprised if you find debomb actually better as a sort of defense more than an offense. But of course, the strategy being then going into round 3 that we can play Skellige Storm and debomb on the Radovid deck, and it completely destroys his back 2 rows, including the golds. They'll all go down to 1, and you should win the game quite comfortably with your end game. I've got the potions in here for 2 reasons. One, they synergize nicely with the witches. So again, if you want to play around Scorch as well, obviously you can play them so that you don't have, like say, 3 of these all on 7, which would get scorched. You could just put 1 of these on there. Really good with the witches because they give you 12 value. But also one of the main reasons why I put these in is to counter Villain Trettenmirth. So again, Radovid Control often runs Villain Trettenmirth. What you can do is just play a potion on one of his units. If he doesn't have any non-gold units, you can play Shackles or debomb and then play the swallow potions. So you actually put his units up, and they're the ones that die to Villain Trettenmirth. So that's the deck, guys. I'm calling it Radovids Bane. I hope you enjoyed that, and if, as I say, I'm going to be making a lot more decks as we go, so please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I've had a few guys saying I'm not promoting my Twitch. I'm not telling people I'm on Twitch. Guys, I'm on Twitch, okay? I do stream. I haven't settled on a schedule yet, but you can follow me on there at www.twitch.tv/bjthebrave. Hope you enjoyed the vid, and I'll see you soon. Welcome back, guys. So we're about to jump into our first match. And we're playing Radovid Control. So this is good because this is what we want to test the deck against. This is the meta right now. So these are this combo here is a real winning combination against Radovid. The Thunder is also pretty good with Shackles. I think we'll get rid of one of the pikemen. And I think against Radovid, it's good to actually get the witches out early. So we'll keep that. And actually pretty happy with that hand. Now usually we play the witches last, but against Radovid, I think it's good to play it first, because often they won't play Villain Trettenmirth.
Let's go.
I'm going to put Geralt to the top of the deck.
Peace is priceless. We shall see what the future holds.
He's probably going to pull that anyway, and he pulls that, so not the best. Not the best Zarthesius ever.
Vertamaria! Sure, no problem.
Now, is he going to try and play Villain Trettenmirth here? And the answer to that is no. Okay. So do we just pass here, being so far ahead? The thing is, normally we want to ensure we win the first round. But we're so far ahead. Do we just pass? Oh, we could just go that now.
Let's go.
Always good to try and have on the front row something where you've sort of got different values. The witches help with that, and especially when he starts damaging things. It's not actually out of the question to run a Warcry in this deck, by the way. I've won a few games against Radovid when I did have a Warcry in. I just found it's good against Radovid because he has a lot of wounding things like these. But against other decks, it can be a dead card in your hand, so I ended up cutting it. But it's not out of the question. Often we use D-Bomb on ourselves. Okay, so he's pushing very hard. To win this round. Why is he putting that onto 4? Is it because he has... not sure, actually. So I think we're going to start thinning. We do run a standard bearer, which would have been absolutely fantastic right now. I don't know if I dare use the other first light, though, because there's a good chance that he runs Aeromancy. Did you just use Radovid? Wow. Oh, do we save this for Aeromancy? I feel like we need to save that. Okay.
Not all battles need end in bloodshed.
This is quite a good answer, to try and force him to quit. Not when he does that to you, though, it's not. I think that's the first time I've seen Radovid control run decoy. So that's worth 8. Is it worth lightning it? We've basically swapped a lightning for a decoy and gained and a 4 mana bronze. It's not the worst thing ever. So I think if he's going to keep pushing, we might need to play this. Perhaps he decides, being a card up, that he passes. The thing is, we really want to win first round against Radovid control. Okay. Good. Okay, so he's passed, so we pass. So that's the first objective achieved, is win round 1. You'll notice that I put Geralt to the top of my deck, and that's because... Huh? Not sure I understand. I thought I put Geralt to the top of my deck.
No one can hide from me.
I thought I put Geralt to the top of my deck. I'm a bit confused what I did now with...
You best yield now.
Huh. Stefan, what did I do with Stefan? I thought I put Geralt to the top. Okay, so we'll just pass there. He wants to bring him back. Okay, that thing's going to be really annoying in this now. Shackles.
Are you wounded? Again? You best yield now.
Order will triumph. It must triumph.
Feels good.
The north to marry. Order will triumph. It must triumph.
So we need those to ping one more time, don't we? Ah, that's actually hurt us. Unless he wounds that. If he wounds that, then it's not too bad. Okay. So we're going to debomb those two, either way. So I think we go debomb, Kahir, water. Yeah. Debomb. So notice what we're about to do with Kahir. We're going to basically get to play our hero power again, which is going to give us a card, hopefully Geralt, and he's not going to get to play Radovid again. Okay. So we'll play this now. His Yennefer should ping our guy, which means that it kills both of his guys. Ah, that's a shame. So we would have obviously Skellige Stormed, and then we would have played our hero power, and we would have won. So that's the deck, guys. As you can see, it is pretty much teched to beat Radovid Control. I know a lot of people are struggling with that deck at the minute, so it's a lot of fun to use. And you know, you just got to remember that in most games, what you want to do with the witches is you want to put them back in your hand using your faction ability, so that in the last turn you can use your hero power and pull all the witches. In the Radovid Control game, it's you can do that. You can do that depending on if you've got the D-bomb in your hand, depending on whether you've got shackles in your hand or maybe the water, the Skellige Storm. But in that situation, as you saw what I did there, is I actually used it to win round one. Radovid Control really wants to win round one hard, so we can actually fight them in round one if we want, and then use our big golds to end up winning, and the combination with that decoy and Skellige Storm to end up winning the final round. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll be making plenty more decks with the new patch. I'm also on Twitch at www.twitch.tv/bjthebrave. Thanks for watching.